Hello and welcome to the Great British Quiz of the Week, the only weekly quiz on the internet which puts your knowledge of everything about Britain to the test. From history to geography, sport, music and even food, we've got 20 questions to make our way through this week. So get out your pen and paper as we start, rather predictably, with round 1. Yes, round 1 is called This Was the Week That Was, the round where we take a look back in time with a few questions on events in British history that took place during this calendar week. And this week marks the anniversary of none other than the Battle of Hastings, which was fought on the 14th of October all the way back in 1066. So sticking with that theme, here is question 1. In which historic English county did the Battle of Hastings take place? Was it A. Lincolnshire, B. Devon, C. Sussex, or D. Kent? The answer is C. Sussex, specifically about 7 miles to the northwest of Hastings, where you'll now find a lovely town called Battle. Question 2. Who did William the Conqueror defeat in battle to take victory at the Battle of Hastings? Was it A. Harold Godwinson, B. Edward the Confessor, C. Alfred the Great, or D. Ethelred the Unready? The answer is A. Harold Godwinson, who'd been ruling as the Anglo-Saxon King of England since the 5th of January 1066, having succeeded the previous king, Edward the Confessor. Question 3. After his victory at the Battle of Hastings, William the Conqueror became King of England. But on what date did his coronation take place? Was it A. the 15th of October 1066, the next day, B. the 14th of November 1066, 1 month later, C. the 25th of December 1066, that Christmas, or was it D. he was never formally crowned? The answer is C. the 25th of December 1066, otherwise known as Christmas Day. The date was deliberately chosen as a show of power by the new king, imitating the Holy Roman and Byzantine emperors, who were customarily crowned on the same date. And finally for round 1 is question 4. William the Conqueror's legacy can still be seen all over the country today. So which of the following famous landmarks were first built during his more than 20-year reign? Was it A. Norwich Castle, B. Winchester Cathedral, C. the Tower of London, or D. all of the above? The answer is D. all of the above. That's right, construction began on Norwich Castle all the way back in 1067. The first stones were laid at Winchester Cathedral in 1079, and the world-famous White Tower of the Tower of London was first built all the way back in 1084, just 3 years before the end of William the Conqueror's reign. So tot up your score from those first 4 questions, because we now move to round 2. Just as the name suggests, this is a quickfire round, 8 general knowledge questions with no multiple choice. So this is the opportunity to really show off your skills against the clock. After each question, you'll have just 3 seconds to give your answer, so either shout it out or write it down on your pad. Ready? On your marks, get set, and go! Question 1. What is the tallest mountain in the United Kingdom? Ben Nevis, up in the Scottish Highlands. Question 2. What colour of rose traditionally represents Lancashire? Red. White, on the other hand, is for Yorkshire. Question 3. What does diolch mean in the Welsh language? It means thank you. Question 4. Who was the first monarch of the Tudor dynasty? Henry VII, who defeated Richard III to take the English crown back in 1485. Question 5. In which year did England win the Men's Football World Cup? 1966, of course, famously beating West Germany 4-2 in the final at Wembley. Question 6. Which city in Northern Ireland is known as the Maiden City? Derry. The name comes from the fact that the city's famous defensive walls have never been breached in their more than 400 years of history. Question 7. Which university is older, Oxford or Cambridge? Oxford. It was founded back in 1096, while Cambridge was established in 1209 by a group of scholars who had fled from Oxford. And finally, question 8. The people of which northern English town are nicknamed monkey hangers? Hartlepool. The unusual nickname comes from a famous and bizarre story during the Napoleonic Wars, when the townspeople captured a monkey on a French ship that had crashed off the coast. And assuming it was a French spy, they sentenced the monkey to death by hanging. As you'd expect, there's much more to that story than first meets the eye, but we need to keep moving with our quiz into round 3. Round 3 is called Mind the Map, where we shift our attention towards the wonderfully varied and complex geography of the UK. And in this week's round, we'll be focusing on Scotland. So, question 1. How many cities are there in Scotland? Are there 2, 8, 15, or 93? The answer is 8. Scotland's 8 cities are Edinburgh, Glasgow, Aberdeen, Inverness, Dundee, Perth, Stirling, and Dunfermline, all of which hold official city status as awarded to them by the British monarch. Question 2. There are more than 30,000 lochs to be found all over Scotland, but which is the largest by surface area? Loch Lomond, Loch Morar, Loch Leven, or Loch Ness? The answer is Loch Lomond. Located to the northwest of Glasgow, Loch Lomond is by far Scotland's largest loch, and it's even the largest body of water in Great Britain, measuring more than 27.5 square miles in size, which is just a bit larger than the island of Manhattan in New York City. Question 3. What is the northernmost point of the Scottish mainland? Duncansby Head, John O'Groats, Dunnet Head, or Ullapool Harbour? The answer is Dunnet Head. Contrary to popular belief, John O'Groats is not the northernmost point on the Scottish mainland. It's actually located about 2 miles further south of the large windswept headland known as Dunnet Head. And the final question in our Mind the Map round on Scotland, question 4. Which part of Scotland is represented by this flag? Orkney, Shetland, the Isle of Skye, or Caithness? The answer is Orkney. The current flag of Orkney, in use since 2007, notably features a Nordic cross, which is a nod to the island's Scandinavian heritage, having once been part of Norway for much of their history, before they came under Scottish control in the year 1472. So that's the end of round 3. Count up your score from those 4 questions before we move into our final round for the week. This is our picture round, and to put it very simply, you'll be presented with an illustration, photo, or video of a location in the United Kingdom, and all you have to do is identify where it is. Got it? Great. Then let's get started on our final round with question 1. Which famous British cathedral is this? The answer is Durham Cathedral, a spectacular Norman cathedral which is more than 900 years old, and has stood as a symbol of the city of Durham for almost all of its history. Question 2. This painting depicts which British city in the year 1820? The answer is Birmingham. The painting depicts part of the historic Bull Ring at the heart of the city, featuring the old St Martin's Church and the statue of Horatio Nelson, the latter of which can still be seen in the same location in Birmingham, albeit now home to much more modern surroundings. Question 3. Take a look at this brief 10-second clip and identify whether it was filmed in England, Scotland, Wales, or Northern Ireland. The answer is Wales. The clip showed the beautiful multicoloured harbour at Tenby on the coast of Pembrokeshire. And question 4, our final question for the week. This image shows the marketplace in the small countryside town of Reetham. But in which English county would you find it? The answer is Norfolk. This town of just over 2,000 people is located in the heart of the Norfolk countryside, famed for its beautiful Georgian architecture, and a churchyard with no less than 3 churches. Well worth visiting if you're in the area. So that's it for this week's Great British Quiz. On screen now are all of the answers for this week's questions. So tot up your score and let me know how you did by leaving a comment below. Oh, and before you go, see if you can solve one more thing for me. These jumbled up letters should spell the name of a town somewhere in Britain. So have a go at putting them back together into the right order. And then remember to come back next week for the answer to the anagram.